what the big deal about Cracker Jack is. Did you ever go and buy a pack of Cracker Jack thinking you're going to get a prize and find no prize in the box?
You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
Freehand is beating his net at the plate. Crawford is over there watching. Good see, sir. You're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on. Oh, I must be in the front row.
I believe that will transition over to the red-hot White Sox. A half game out of first. Winning is fun. Baseball is fun on the South Side again, but there are a lot of cool key takeaways as to why the White Sox suddenly have a winning formula. One, you got a Cy Young candidate in Davis Martin.
Whoa. Not Martin Davis?
Either one. He has the fourth best ERA in all of baseball, and it only trails the Yankees' Cam Schlittler, sorry.
Easy.
By 0.12 for the best ERA in the AL.
Wow.
This guy he dominated the other night, 7 innings and 10 strikeouts against a somewhat formidable hitting Angels lineup with Trout and Solaire's hitting home runs again this year.
Yeah.
And Adele, who had like 35 home runs last year. So kept them in check. And overall, the White Sox starting pitching has been really good. The starting pitching is third in the AL, but they only have a team best eighth in the AL in pitching because of some shaky bullpen outings, as I've talked about over and over. You wonder what their record would be if they had a more solid performance out of the bullpen, because they have fallen to some 7th inning or later losses, which was a common theme last year. So little better performance out of the bullpen, and could be talking about a first place White Sox team right now.
Well, and your general manager addressed that in the offseason by signing Sir Anthony Dominguez, and I forget who the other guy he signed. I thought those are kind of curious moves at the time, considering I didn't think you would be in contention. So, closing out games wasn't a huge priority. It would probably be a move to trade somebody at the deadline because they're all 1-year deals. But proves I am foolish, and Chris Getz knew exactly what he was doing, is you needed to shore up that bullpen. Unfortunately, it's not worked out, as you just pointed out, quite as often as you think. But I think that in the long term it will.
Yeah, it's starting to trend in the right direction, because like the Sox are like, kind of middle of the road, 8th in team ERA, 8th in OPS, 5th in fielding percentage. But when we were looking at this shit in mid-April, you had brought up, and I said, I agree. They were like near last in every one of these categories.
Yeah.
So now that they've moved to the middle of the pack in the AL, that is a sign of goodness to come.
When you talk about the AL, we got to bring up that there's only 3 teams now that have winning records above 500 in the entire American League.
Yes.
One of which is the fucking Los Oklahoma A's, which is hilarious. I think they're 1 game over, but the Rays and the Yankees, of course, are running away with it.
Yeah, the Rays have come on.
They were 9-1 in their last 10. I don't know if they won last night.
They won last night, yeah.
So maybe that's 10. I don't know. 10.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, it's funny because when you, even though this is just as foolish fun, but you go look at the wild card standings, and 4 teams from the AL Central make the playoffs if the season ended today.
Yeah, I think you're in, right? At least you were last night.
Yeah, we're in the playoffs. Playoffs? Yeah,
what are we whining about?
I'm all for the season ending today, by the way. I don't know about you. I think, again, way too early to be making this call, but if this White Sox trend stays, I think you're looking at manager of the year too with Will Venable. Yeah. Like, there is no way that
if you finish close to 500, he wins it. I mean, if you make the playoffs, it's a no-brainer. But I think the turnaround, I mean, having so many 100 lost seasons in a row, you got to give it to him at this point.
Yeah, it's just, I know you're probably actually kind of happy the White Sox are doing better, because It's a much happier Pete on this podcast, a much more fun guy to do the podcast with. Maybe sometimes a little too obnoxious, but that's all right.
That's the double-edged sword that is podcasting with you. You get too excited and then you get cocky and obnoxious. But then I don't want you to be downtrodden and sullen. So it's a fine balance I'm walking here.
Yeah,
I never know what I'm going to get.
It's a deck of cards. It could fall at any moment. Or house of cards, I should say. Sorry, excuse me. Other key takeaway on something that's starting to balance out a little bit for the White Sox is, we were 54, we were like 58, 54 reliant on runs from hitting the long ball. Now it's leveled out to 50% and we're still winning games. And the Sox are doing something interesting, and there's been a few articles written about it. They have made the bunt sexy again. Now the bunt does not sound sexy at all. Sounds like one of the most boring things to do in baseball, but
rhymes with Sox,
bunt. the Sox have a very balanced lineup for once, and this is why they're able to win in multiple ways. They have a lot of speed on the team. They are no longer what we've talked about for decades, a station-to-station team. I mean, we have guys who can run to first full speed and not come out of the game for 2 weeks. They stay in the game.
That was a scary proposition for like half a decade for you guys.
I mean, half a decade, maybe in a decade. I mean,
you're
right, half a decade. The rebuild team
post-pandemic, it was dicey running to first. You don't know. I don't know about those vaccination shots.
It's really
what
weird.
They do to White Sox hamstrings.
It's really weird this year, the amount of double plays we've stayed out of and amount of throws to first we beat out. And,
wow.
And the players have remained on the field. It's crazy. Yeah. But you can tell that, part of winning baseball is getting the right group of guys together, and you never know what you're going to do when you bring in people from the outside, and team starts to gel. And it's not a lie. Winning can be contagious, and everyone, it's just all clicking right now. We'll see what this is like another month from now, but I'm so pleased with my White Sox. And you know what? Because I like to be obnoxious, I will predict that the White Sox will be leading the AL Central by at least a game the next time we podcast.
Wow, that's very possible. I mean, they're half game out right now?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's no one is certainly separating themselves in the AL Central or the American League in general. Just what a quagmire. This is kind of a hilarious start to the season. So in some ways,
post-game show is brought to you by Christ. I can't find it. The hell with it.
One guy poured beer all over my head. The guy said, "How can you take that?" I said, "Look, that man didn't do nothing. He poured some beer on my head. He's just showing he's a White Sox fan. There ain't nothing wrong with that."
Sparky, a million thanks for, as always, the most interesting interview. And now today, let's just have a lot of thrilling baseball and not so many fisticuffs.
Word Hole Media.